Record.
Default has changed to it.
Good evening, ladies. How are we all? Can you all
Hi,
hear?
hi.
Hello, hello. Just want to make sure you heard me because I think the volume into my earphones.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome.
Well, I can.
That's okay. Hopefully that's everybody. All right. Let me just speak of you here. Okay, so we are at module 2 for our new ladies that have joined. It's all this week is, or the next 2 weeks is all about the 6 steps of your course creation. So this is actually the exciting part. This is where you are planning your course out. Remember, we're not going to start recording anything yet. This is all just planning stages. So I'm just going to go through the 6 steps again quickly. So the first step that you need to get clarity on is your course promise, which is you also did in module 1. So this is kind of just a repeat, is to understand what is the promise, what is that solution that you are offering. So what can people expect? You know, it's that sentence, by the end of this course, you will be able to, and what is that promise that you can give people at the end of your course? Step number 2 is mapping out your modules and your lessons. Now, I personally find Trello, you will see in the training as well, there's an app called Trello. It's free. There's a link, I think somewhere I've put the link so that you can just join it. And it's such an easy way to actually plan out your course and your lessons and everything you want to put in there. And then you can see how it's going to look like. So I definitely highly recommend that you use Trello to do that. Now, if you don't want to use an app or anything like that, good old pen and paper will work just as well. So if you've got a big piece of paper, also you can use sticky notes. I just find that sometimes in the beginning I used to use sticky notes before I knew about Trello, but they always fall off the wall. That's why I stopped using them. But you can literally also, plan it out on a paper, basically your modules and then your lessons. And just remember that basically your modules are those like key pillars, that the key steps that your potential customer need to take in order to get that transformation. And then under each of those steps is actually like the sub steps or the sub lessons that they need to understand in order to complete that specific step. Okay, after we map out our models and lessons, then it's develop your course content. So once you have got that outside framework and you know exactly right, these are my, just for argument's sake, 6 steps I'm going to take, and these are the lessons I'm going to teach under each of these, then you now have to go and figure out what is the content you're going to put in under each lesson. Okay, and this is where you've got to, once you've validated it, you know that this is what you're going to do, people want what you're looking for, then you can also, when you're planning out that content, is when you also decide, right, what are all the extras that I can add to this lesson in order to make the life of my student easier? What else can I create to add to their journey? So in my case, that will be workbooks, checklists, templates, anything like that, Tech Vault videos, etc. And that is step 4, create your bonus documents. So I normally, when I go through my course planning, I've got it all planned out, but then I decide if I'm on a lesson, let's just say the lesson is identify your ideal customer, then I know straight away, right, when I teach about identify my ICA, I also need to create a plan or a workbook that's going to go with that. So I normally do all that planning at the same time, but that's basically all those extras that you're going to be doing. And then step number 5, naming your course. Seriously, don't overthink it. Like, I've just been looking at some other people's courses now, and there's no right, there's no wrong. Keep it simple. I just always think keep it simple so that the name reflects exactly what your course is about. It just makes it so much easier. So there is no right or wrong. Just go for it. whatever you feel comfortable with. And then pricing your course. So finally, pricing your course, I would always recommend if you are brand new, you're just launching, do a beta launch price where you get people in, you tell them, listen, this is a brand new course. I am going to test run it first with a couple of people. I'm going to give it to you at a huge discount of, let's say, 80% discount. But in return, all I ask for is that you can complete the course and that you will give me feedback as we go along and also give me a testimonial. I know of people who ran the beta courses where they said, right, I'm going to charge you X amount, but if you complete it and give me the testimonial, I will refund you that money. Because that first lot of people that you're taking through is purely 100%. It's about getting your course up and ready, up and running, and getting people's actual students' feedback and making sure that your course is perfect before you actually launch it to the world. And that's it. That is the 6 steps. So go through that training. I've basically, we've allocated another 2 weeks to this so that you can get all your content planned. The numbers, let me just have a look here. Numbers 4, 5, 6, 1, yes, number 1, 4, 5, 6 shouldn't take you long. That's quite quick decisions. So really it's only mapping it out and then developing your course content. That's going to take a little bit more time. Okay, any questions? Brunel.
Yes. So I got a few people. I actually got one respond on my silly post, and then also parents that asked me for reading list, or I comment in moms groups on if their child struggles. So I told those parents, like, I'm actually planning or looking into making a workshop for parents. But now they're asking me what would it cost and when. So I just said I'm still planning. I'll keep you updated.
Yeah.
And then how long would you keep them like wandering around? Would that still take that 2 weeks, or would I give them something in between? I just don't know. Like,
so what is it? Is this going to be a course or a workshop?
I'd rather want a course.
Okay.
So I want to start with a workshop and then actually just get more from the parents to say, okay, like what are they actually struggling with, and then create the course.
Okay, so why don't you run the workshop?
Right.
Go
Okay.
for it. I mean, you've got
Okay.
your outline, you're already doing this, so you probably have a very good idea of what your modules are going to look like, what your structure is going to be, and what you're going to basically teach. Like if you know your headlines, and I would run a workshop. Exactly
Okay.
like the workshop that I did for the lab. Okay, I know I did it over 3 days. You don't have to do it over 3 days. You can just do a 2-hour workshop and tell them how long it's going to be, work out what it's going to be, because this is going to be a paid workshop. So find out, decide how long it's going to be. If it's going to be too long, you might find that it'll be better to run it over 2 days. I have done paid workshops before, which I ran 2 nights in a row. So I did the one night and the other half the other night, because I knew it was going to run for quite a long time. So if that's the case, then I would suggest that you maybe run it over 2 nights. Otherwise, run it over 1 day, 1 night, 1 evening, and go for it and get feedback from them on everything you do. So basically, I know sometimes we go, oh, why these people are getting it for so cheap, etc., etc. But the feedback that you get from those initial people, it is invaluable for going forward. So just look at it as part of your expense of, setting up everything in the right way.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Pleasure. Any other questions?
So the sooner you do the workshop, the better, while they're all warm or hot, so to speak.
And, I must be honest with you. I mean, I've said this before, the ladies that have been around with me for a while know that I thrive under pressure. So I just put dates out there. I just decide, I know this lab where you guys all joined, I wasn't going to do that until after my son left from our holiday. So I was basically going to only run it like now, the end of May. And then Stephen says, what are we waiting for? Let's just do it. And it's like, oh my word, how am I going to fit this all in? But because he did, and he said, no, let's just do it. I did. And it's amazing how active you get and how you just churn out work when you have committed to a date, you've put it out there, you've made it available to people, then you've just got to get it done. So if you want to procrastinate, the best thing to do is set a date. Set a date and put it out there. Okay, any other questions? All right. What do you want to say?
Nothing.
I can't say nothing. I just wanted to see if, who was it that I did now? Is it Annelies or Anne-Marie?
Anne-Marie, I think.
Is Anne-Marie on the call?
Top there.
Oh, is that you, Anne-Marie? Sorry.
Unmute.
Please unmute yourself, Anne-Marie.
I don't know why I'm there. I will ask my computer person to help me there.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Anne-Marie, I want your permission to share what you sent me on Canva and what I've done, because I want to show other people who are also not making use of the templates, to show them what I've done and how I've used the templates. Would
Can
you
do
mind if
so.
I do that? Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. So ladies, Anne-Marie sent me her, I'm actually going to share my screen. Anne-Marie sent me her, her lead magnet, not a lead magnet, her ebook to give her feedback on. And I totally understand that not everybody is creative and that not everybody has got, understand how to create these things digitally, etc. But I want to just emphasize again, this is why I've created the templates. And I have spent hours on getting these things done and getting it nice and making it as easy as possible for you to create, whether it's a workbook, whether it's an ebook, whether it's a social media post, webinars, whatever it is. I've tried to take, I know I've taken hours off the work that you need to do. So, as you can see here, Anne-Marie's just said, so just to give you guys a bit of behind the scenes, Anne-Marie's got a Benina sewing machine shop, and she does embroidery, and she helps people to actually use their machines the correct way. So this is, hang on, let me just move this thing so I can see. So this is what Anne-Marie sent me. So now the first mistake, and Anne-Marie, please don't take anything personal here that I'm saying. I'm trying to help everybody through saying this. So the first mistake
read this book. if you haven't heard of that book, 4 Agreements, one of them says, don't take it personally. It's constructive criticism.
We're purely saying all this to help you. So the first mistake that Anne-Marie made here was to use a social media post format. So she did go to the templates that I created, but she went to the wrong templates. Okay, so just have a look when you see the templates. If you go under the section that says templates, go and specifically look for, it's either called ebook or workbook. Okay, because we need it in an A4 format. Yeah, I'm going to now. The second thing here, that part of your planning, when it comes to putting an ebook together or a workbook even together, I want you to think of it as you getting a book. Like when you buy a physical book, there's a cover page on the physical book, and then there's normally hang on, what are you doing? Then there's normally a content page on a book, and there's chapters. There's chapters in the book. Okay. So I want you, and then normally at the end, right at the end, there's a conclusion or an epilogue or whatever the case may be. So I want you to, specifically when you're doing the ebook, I really want you to stick to that format. With a workbook, it doesn't have to, you still need a title page, but you don't have to have all the other things. But when you're creating an ebook, just think of a format of a normal book, because all an ebook is it's an electronic book. So instead of having a physical book, it's just an electronic book. So we still want to have that same type of layout. So what I would recommend is getting a Word document and actually writing out what you want to create or what you want to say in your workbook. So exactly, remember when you ladies all joined, I said the exact same strategy we use with course creation is what we do when you create a workshop, when you create an ebook, when you do a membership. It doesn't matter. It all works on the same principles. And that is, now you've got to decide, instead of you choosing modules, like for your course, you need to decide on the chapters that you're going to do. And then you need to decide, okay, if these are my chapter headings, what am I going to put under each of these chapters? What are the subheadings? What is the content that I'm going to create? So exactly the way that you plan out your course, you're now just working with a book. So you still need to plan out your book and have content that people can read. So this was what Anna-Marie created. It was a bit all over the place. And I decided, because we've been going back and back and forward for quite some time with this ebook, and I decided I'm just going to actually help her out with this. So what I did was I just quickly want to get down there. Templates, where are you? Yeah. I came into templates and I used this ebook course workbook template. I actually jumped into this course and I clicked on this and it took me through. Let me just do it. Okay. And you click on that and you click on that. Okay. So, have I now changed it? I thought I saved it. Oh, okay. I might have to redo it.
Maureen, I did went to that after I spoke, after I write to you, I did change a little bit of it.
Okay, that's fine. Not a problem. So I must have now edited the original copy, which I'll go and fix, and I'll put the original template back in there. But I want to just show you. So what I did was that original template, I can't even remember how many pages it is. I think it's 60 odd pages or whatever. But I knew she needed, oh, yes, let me just, here now. Oh, hang on, let me just go back in here. Okay, so I'll just do this. Okay, so I knew she needed a cover page, so I got a cover page. I just chose the first one that was there. Then I wanted to get her to do like a little welcome page, or just say something like welcome the person, maybe say a little bit about herself, have a content page on what's going to be in this ebook, and then the chapters. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 of the pages. And then this one, I just decided, okay, what will be the easiest, the cleanest? I know what she's trying to do, so that each thing has got a heading and she can just do a little blurb underneath each one. So this is just one of the probably 20 pages that there was. And I decided that, you know what, those 5 pages is perfect for what she needed to do. I deleted all the other pages that was in that template. Okay, and stuck with these. And then all I did was go in there and then I just duplicated that page and I made that the second one. So I would just go in there and I would just make that, okay, chapter number 2. Like that's how easy it is. So once you've got the original one, I'm just going to delete that again. You just duplicate that one. So because when you do that and you finish creating the first one, then and you duplicate it and you're just changing the number and the heading here, the title, then all your pages look exactly the same. It's neat, it's tidy, and it looks professional. And then once I did, so yeah, let me just go back here quickly and show you guys. So this was just, okay, that's obviously the welcome page. This is the name of the book. And please, Anna-Marie, you can change it. I came up with all this stuff. I just went and Googled stuff about this. And then I just, your guide, what is the little tagline? And then she, Anna-Marie mentioned on one of her things, the online embroidery coach. So I just brought that in. Instead of a website, I just put in there at the bottom, the embroidery coach. A little welcome note here with her name at the bottom. Then here is just content. I just created these 8 steps after I Googled what do you need to know when you are doing embroidery. And then I created these, I just did 4, not 8 chapters in the end. So creating the chapter, having the heading, and then these are the subheadings. So there is my title. This is like the module, like the chapter 1 with a title. And these are the subheadings. This one and that one. Now, I didn't put content in here. That, Anna-Marie, obviously, I didn't put the content in there. I don't know anything about what you do. So this is where you would then go and put, you decide on your topics that you're going to do, and then you just will write the content in there. Under the next chapter, exactly the same thing. Subheadings under that chapter, and then you just write a little blurb on each of those. And then I just finished it off with, right here at the end, I just finished it off. I just did a little quote page on that. Again, this page was in the template, and I thought, you know what, that'll be a nice break from doing the same thing. We've done the same thing everywhere here. Let's change it up a bit. And I used it, a quote. What I often do in my own workbooks and things like that is I duplicate this because I always think a little quote is nice. And I normally, often at the end of my chapters or at the end of things, I will put a duplicate. You're more than welcome to do that as well. You can put more than one if you want to. If you don't want it, you literally just delete it. And then tools and resources, because her thing is all about tools and resources and giving advice on people how to download the, I'm not even sure exactly what it is, but the programs and stuff they need to put onto the machines. This is just like a little tools and resources thing. Again, this was a page on the template. I just changed the little icons around to make it a machine. Obviously, I changed the color. I just saw her colors were this turquoisey color. So I just thought, okay, I'll use the turquoise. That's why everything is the turquoise. Put in some sewing machine things. I want to show you, for those of you that don't understand how I get that, I just go to elements. I think I put in fact, it'll still be here. Yeah, machine embroidery. That's what I put in. I went to graphics with these. And I literally just, and now I want to show you something else. You need to just scroll down here and go for the free option, because I'm actually on the pro option. But if you're going to, if you guys are not on it, it's going to charge you money. So you want to go to free, and then all the ones that will come up now are free. So there you can see, there's the little pin cushion. There's the little cotton. I don't know, I found them all somewhere here. I just scrolled down here and they came up. So basically, this is where I found all those little icons, was just in elements under graphics. The same with the pictures. All these pictures I used, I just went to photos, and you'll probably see that some of these, I think I might even have put sewing in for those, because there wasn't much going on here. So I think I did sewing. And I think that, there's another scissors, but I mean, I just literally dragged, there's the thread, and I just took a few of these that I thought was relevant, and I just literally drag. You can literally take it here and you just drag it in there, and it goes into that column. So again, this page was already in the template. I just changed the color. I haven't really changed anything else yet. She can change what is necessary. And if you have got your customer's photo, obviously you want to put your customer's photos there. If you don't have it, you can put whatever you want. And then we finish off just with a conclusion, a congratulation, like finishing it off, just to grab it all, just to end it all off together. This is that last page to say, well done, have fun, create some amazing things. And then the last page that you want is a contact page. This is where, again, you need to update this. This hasn't been done anything, but this is where you want to put in, your social media platforms, your email address, your phone numbers, anything that you want people in order, so that if they want to now carry on working with you, that they can contact you. You can even add another page in here if there is something specific you want them, like what is the next step? So now you've bought the ebook, you've learned this. So what is the next step? Maybe the next step is if you want to purchase more designs or whatever it is that you sell, then that is you can add another page in here where you can say, for your next step, if you need more designs for your embroidery machine, just click on this link below and you can get access to those designs, for instance. Okay, so does that make sense to everybody? Anna-Marie, are you now feeling more confident on what you need to do?
Yes, thank you. I did go into that page, that book, and I did go and play around. Can each page on top be a different picture but the same size? As when you said you stuck with embroidery, then you put something there. How to use your embroidery machine, then you put your embroidery in there. Can't you access the one I made at the shop?
You
Can't
can
you access the new one?
you can put which one are you talking something here?
I made a new page, a new book, or what do you call? So I did change it on Canva. So
Okay, maybe I just don't have access to that because you probably used it as your own. So but you can change everything here. You can put in your own pictures, stuff that you have created. If you've got photos
okay.
of work that you've done by
Okay, so I can put in my own design pictures.
absolutely. The more
Okay.
of your stuff you use, the better.
Yes, I did play with that a little bit. Thank you very much.
No, it's a pleasure. I must just remember to.
But I
fix
think
that
the
template.
biggest thing for everyone to understand with regards to templates. So you might find a template and there's 60 pages to it. It's not to say you need to use all 60 pages. Like if I was making that ebook, Maren used 5 different pages of the 60. I might use 7 or 2 or 22, whatever is pertinent to me. Like there might be a Q&A page and I think, oh, that's a good one to put near the end as a page with question and answers, for example. Somebody else might look at that and say, you know, the heading on the front page is too small. I want it this big. Then you just change the font size. Or if you don't like the color of that one, you just change the color all the way through. You don't have to do it individually.
And I know some of the pages are like Monday to Friday, you know, like a diary that you can keep for if you're a personal trainer or you know, a life coach or something like that, where people need to track things during the week or whatever. So that is specifically there, or there's some that's got graphs on and pie tables and things like that. If you may be more into the accounting or business side of stuff, if it's got nothing to do with what you do, just delete those pages. Remember, we have such a variety of people from different backgrounds. We're just trying to help and cover as many industries as we can, but you only use the pages that you need to use. Okay. Does that make sense?
I think Annalise said a question.
Annalise,
Just
can you just unmute yourself, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
I actually feel so stuck because I'm still on my topics. And today I just decided, you know what, I got all these polls and everything. And amazingly, my first topic or what everybody wants information on is weight loss, the 8 reasons why your body will keep you hostage. So that one got so many, or so many people came back to me on that one. But the weight loss industry is totally saturated, according to me. And the second topic was overwhelm and feeling stuck. And then the third one was menopause. You know, so I just decided right before this call, I actually just decided to go with the weight loss one, because this is just one topic. And then I just want to ask a question. Maren, you and Stephen are known as the digital queen on the market.
Oh,
you're
right?
queen.
Sorry, Stephen.
Queen.
Sorry, Stephen.
I'll take it.
But you are the gurus on digital products, right? So will it be a problem if the first course, if I make one course on weight loss and then one on overwhelm and then the other one on loss and grief, should one stick to one thing? Or is it okay to be known for 300 stuff?
Okay, can I ask you the first question? Are you a
Yeah.
life coach?
I am.
Okay. So, and have you got a specific audience? Are you working with women or are you working with...
It's mostly women. Actually, what I focus on is trauma. But trauma stems from even eating is a trauma, or overeating is a trauma issue. You know,
Okay.
so anything connected to an emotion usually goes back to a childhood trauma, you know, so that's why any topic under the sun will actually go back to trauma, childhood trauma, that have happened.
So
And
what I would do in your case is I always talk about the umbrella. I would still be the umbrella where you are known for dealing with trauma. And in your messaging, a lot of the things is going to be like, let's just say, for instance, one of your subjects are going to be, did you know that overeating can be a result of childhood trauma? And if you know how to deal with, if you want to learn how to deal or how to regain or change your habits around eating and eliminate that childhood trauma, then that can be a specific course. So it will be a course for women, that I'm just saying women, for people who have got weight issues due to, without even realizing that it is a direct effect of childhood trauma. You need to explain that to them through your messaging. Okay, so there's a saying I always say is, when you are trying to sell something, is give people what they want, but sell them what they need. Okay, because many times, like that now, for instance, I'm overweight, I'm eating food as my comfort food. I think all I need to do is lose weight. I just need to lose weight. I'm not even aware that it could be childhood trauma that's causing it. So sell me how can I overcome my obsession with food. But then when they sign on for your course or your program, you're actually going to give them what they need in terms of, but did you realize that if we can get the foundations? Why do you think I always talk about the foundations? Because it's foundations in everything, isn't it? So go back to the foundations. Let's go back to where you came from, and let's see what is causing this. Because it's pointless putting a plaster on something instead of actually with the whole thing. So what I'm trying to say is, I would still brand myself as the trauma specialist, because you want to be known for something. But that doesn't mean that you can't offer different programs and courses underneath that umbrella. Just like I have got marketing and messaging and SOS, list building and funnels and webinars, and creating digital products. It's three completely different things, but it's all under the creative marketing product. It's all under that same umbrella. Yeah.
Okay.
But in your
Awesome.
video, when you making videos and putting videos out there, when you're talking about your trauma, and that is to educate people that perhaps the weight issue or the relationship issue or the whatever the case may be is trauma, subconscious things that have happened in the past, because most people are not aware of that. They get held back in life. They self-sabotage without understanding that subconsciously there's all these things happening. So that's one of the things you'll just bring out, and as you're speaking, matter of fact, 10 areas of your life that you didn't realize attached to childhood trauma, for example. One of them being weight management, weight loss, weight gain, overeating, whatever it is. Did you know? So this could just be an educational video that you're making just to put out there, of interest to people. Did you know weight losses can be associated to trauma? Did you know relationship with your children could be taken back to trauma, etc., etc., etc.? And then you just provide what the people want. That's the first thing I wanted to say. The other thing is, you said weight loss is saturated. So here's an interesting thing. Everything is saturated. Opening a coffee shop tomorrow morning, there's 10,000 coffee shops already on your street. Real estate agencies, hairdressers, nail salons, hotels, motels, you name it. Every conceivable thing on the planet is already thought out of, and it's already saturated. Okay, so that's the first thing. but no one can do it the way that you can do it. No one has got your qualification. No one's got your experience. No one's gone through what you've gone through in life to help a certain person. So I always say you can't help everybody, because even though they need help, they don't want help from you. They might want help from me instead of from you. They might not resonate with you, or they might not resonate with me. That's why there's a place for each one of us, because the way I speak to people and the way I handle people, some of them might think I'm abrasive and they're not going to work with me, and so they bugger off. And I don't want to work with them either, because I want to take someone from A to B, and if they're coming up with 50 excuses, I don't want to work with them. And if they're those type of people, then they can go to Maren, who's maybe a little bit gentler on them, and you know, cozy, let's go for a walk and we're going to lose 5 kgs. Whereas, you know, I say pick up a log and let's lose 5 kgs. Not everyone wants to do it my way. So there's space for you. You've just got to show yourself uniquely you and why we need to deal with you. So for any market, we can say it's saturated. But I just
Okay.
want to say that if you
Thank
think
you.
it's saturated, it is saturated. But there's a place for you, because only you can do it the way you want to do it. Or
Thank
only
you.
you can do it. Yeah.
And you know, there is really that is why you've got to have a niche, so that you work with a specific audience and you solve a specific problem, and why you need to brand yourself around that thing so that you become the go-to person. Because I can tell you now, there's lots of people that do what we do, okay? But there's not a lot of people my age that does this. And I think in 9 out of 10, I know we've got some outliers, but the majority of my students is around my age, whether it's now 10 years younger or 10 years older, but they're around my age. I have not got one single person under 30, under 35, maybe.
But some of them might be under
Yeah,
35.
maybe,
Be
but you
careful.
know what I'm trying to say? Like the majority of people that resonate with me is my age woman. Where if it was now a youngster, for instance, I mean, I think we can all relate to that. You know, if these 25-year-olds come and they say, and all you do is you click here and you click there and you go this and you go there, and it's like, just slow down. Like, we can't think that fast. You know, so I think that way, that is how we attract the right people to us. And that is why there is customers for every person. It doesn't matter how many of you are around, because either people are going to relate to you or they're not going to relate to you at all.
Okay.
I know I've met some people online where I think, oh my word, your voice drives me insane. I will never be able to listen to you all day long. Like, it's just, but it doesn't drive someone else insane. Do you know what I'm saying? So personality and the way we all are, thank goodness we're all so different. So just be you, and you will find that, you know, don't try and help everyone, but be very specific in who you're going to help and how you're going to help them, what you're going to do, so that you can become that expert. Your branding, again, we're actually talking about branding. We'll do some more branding talk next week or next time, but we really need to brand around who you are and what you stand for.
Yeah, so if anybody was on the 3-day workshop, you know, I think on the first day we spoke about your values, your value system. So that's another thing that comes across in your public persona and the posts that you make and the way you speak. Is I can't be selling health and fitness, I think, and then I'm posting every week that I'm the fastest drink, and I drink 50 beers every week. You know, it just won't work. So there's people that do that sell fitness and weight loss programs, but then you look at their profiles, you know, and they're vomiting all over the place, and they 20 bottles of beer lying around them. But some people will resonate with that. You know, me looking at that, okay, that guy's not for me. I need to find another personal trainer. I'm not finding somebody who drinks 20 beers every weekend, for example. I'm just giving you an example. So each of us are uniquely us, and you've just got to just be you. Don't try and be like everybody else.
Okay, have you got any other questions? Let me just look in gallery here. Has anyone else got a question?
I just want to talk
So-
about these templates quickly.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we've done all 3 calls today, SOS and funnels and webinars, and now this one. And in each one, there are templates or things to follow, a system to follow. And for some reason, unbeknownst to me, maybe we don't communicate it well enough, but people, quite a lot of people don't want to follow a template or don't want to follow a system. And I'm not sure why. Maybe somebody can give me some feedback here. But the shortest path between A and B is just to duplicate what somebody else has done. If somebody sat for 10 hours and made 100 pages of different templates you can use, why wouldn't you just go and use that? And then change the color and change the font to suit you. It's been tested. It's not as though it's a thumb suck. You know, we've tried this one and we tried that one and tried that one, and then we came up with these that seem to be work for the time being. So why wouldn't you just use that? You know, that's my first question. So when you get stuck, is just go to the templates or look at some of Maran's workbooks and say, okay, that looks pretty interesting. I like the way that's been set out. And then you just duplicate that because it obviously works. What works for the time being until it doesn't work anymore, then we'll change it. But it really boggles my mind, you know, when people have got the opportunity just to go from A to B to C to Z and tweak it for themselves and their industry and whatever. I don't know why some people are banging their head and they come every month with a new design that they've made themselves, and then we fixed it for them, and then they'll come again with a different design again, and it's like you're going around in circles and circles and circles. It doesn't make sense to me. So I just wanted to bring that up. Is every time I've had success in my life, I've just followed somebody who's been before me, and I just follow it, and it seems to have worked quite well. So I'm just suggesting to you that we follow something until it doesn't work, and then we fix it. You tell us it's not working, and then we fix it, and we tweak it for your particular industry or your business.
I just want to add to that. You know, I have given in the training, I give examples of sales pages, landing pages, opt-in pages, registration pages. I give you all the examples of why certain things would be. I know, you know, we ask for email when we're doing our lead magnet funnels, and we, you know, ask for the name and email address. There's a reason why I said, if you're going to use a picture of yourself, you know, remember one of the training videos says, you know, it's been proven that when you have a photo of yourself looking at where they need to enter their stuff, there's a higher opt-in rate. Like, there's a lot of psychology behind the stuff that we've put into this training. Okay, it's not just thumb suck, I like the picture or I like the way it looked. That's why I use examples of other people that are very, very successful online, internationally successful online. Why I use their examples of their pages and stuff is because they work. These people are making millions and millions of dollars a year. So just when I've created or I've shown you samples of what things should look like just try and copy that. You know, you don't have to use the same picture. You can swap the picture around. But if I say to you, you know, put a heading of your lead magnet or put a heading of the course or the workshop you're going to do, what are they going to find in there? 3 bullet points, then the name and email address to register or whatever it might be. There's a reason why that is like that. So don't just write everything out, like just follow the templates, follow the examples that I've given you. There's a reason why I've done that. I've spent the last 8 years learning from the best people possible on this stuff. So there's no reason why you shouldn't just duplicate it and copy it and save yourself a lot of time. Because it is like Stephen said, you know, we are going, like the feedback we're giving, it's the same feedback over and over and over again of people not using the templates. And it does get frustrating.
Yeah, I think Annalisa's got a point there, because I often say to Maren, I wonder if it's a cultural thing. us Africans don't like to be told. We like to lead and do our own thing and change it and do it our own way. And we're going to show you we can do it our own way and that sort of thing. But seriously, save yourself a lot of sweat and tears and money and effort and bumping your head. And just, it's much easier just to follow the template, change the font, change the color, but follow it fairly closely, because like Maren says, there's people that's earning 10 million US, 20 million US, 50 million US a year, right? That this is how they do it. It's stuff that we've done to make $1 or $2. So we know it works, like I say, until it doesn't work. And then you make another plan, then you change it again until it does work.
And that's why Michaela copied, you know, even if you're using MailChimp and not Kajabi, that's why Michaela took my sales pages and things and copied them into MailChimp to show it's not going to look 100% exactly like mine, but if it looks 80% like mine, that's a win. So you can never get, you're never going to get the same effect 100%, because obviously it's not the same type of software. But you know, there's just, she shows you exactly what to do. Just follow what she does, and that's the way you can do it.
Who's got any questions about anything? Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I wanna, sorry.
I was just looking at the question here from Quirby. Yeah, look, just remember you've got access to the course material for forever, for a long time, and everybody's just at a different stage. Everybody's working different hours. Everybody's got different priorities. Some people are chasing a lot of money. Some people just want to make an impact. Some want less money. So don't feel under pressure. It's just the idea behind the 2 weeks is, if we left it open-ended, all of us, then we use up all the time. That's just how it is. Remember, for your exams, got 3 months to learn, and then you try and stuff it all in the last 2-3 days. It's the same with this. If there wasn't some sort of order to it, some sort of structure, you know, we'd all be flopping around in the wind, and 16 weeks would come and go, and we'd still be chasing our tails. So this gives you some structure, and if you keep up, great. And if you can't, it's not the end of the world.
Annelies, the Afrikaans thing. Honestly, I believe there is a huge market. I actually said that in our previous calls today, we were talking about that as well. And I truly, truly believe, I some days wish that my Afrikaans, even though I'm Afrikaans, I can't speak Afrikaans, I can't do business in Afrikaans. It's really difficult for me, because I've always, for the last 30 years, all my business interactions have all been in English. So my brain, when it comes to business, think in English. I wish my Afrikaans was better, because I would be doing 80% of my marketing in Afrikaans. I believe that there's a huge, huge, huge market here. I was saying, when I run ads for my workshops, I actually do Afrikaans ads, and I go and I record the videos, which I read off, so to make sure I stay on track. And when I create those videos and I use those for the ads, my Afrikaans videos are the ones that get the highest opt-in rate into my workshops. So I disagree that the Afrikaans market is not, it doesn't have money. I know with you're saying, will people come to you for trauma? Absolutely they will. Absolutely they will. You know, I think we're living in a different world today from even 20 years ago. I know when we left Zim, with all the trauma that we went through there, I mean, we always joke that if we had to go and see a psychologist in Australia, they would have needed to go and see a psychologist after they heard our story and all the shit that we had to go through. But the reality is, I think things have changed a lot. You know, back even 20 years ago, people thought you only go and see a psychologist, or you go and do life coaching or things like that if you were crazy, where these days it's not at all like that. We all know that mental health is a huge issue, and that people need to go and talk. And it's the done thing these days is to go and see someone if you need help. Same, you know, with life coaching. I mean, there's a huge market for life coaching and to deal with trauma, etc., like that. So no, I would 100%, if you are comfortable in Afrikaans and if that's your first language, I would 100% market to the Afrikaans people. There are millions of Afrikaans people in this country, millions. And if you think about it, if you've got a course that is only 2,000 Rand, you have to sell 50 to make 100,000 Rand. You need to sell 500 to make 1,000,000 Rand. 500 people to make 1,000,000 Rand. If you want to make 1,000,000 Rand for the next 20 years, that's 500 times 20. That's 10,000 people. I always say, go and work it out like that, because we always think, oh, is there enough people? Well, is there 10,000 people that you can sell to for the next 10 years?
20 years.
Or 20 years. You only need, I always say, because I worked it out for myself, and I think I only need a 10,000 woman at $10,000, 10,000 Rand a shot over the next 15 years. Then you realize, well, what's 10,000? We're sitting here with a population of, well, at least 15 to 20 million Afrikaans people. Half that for the men and women, if it's just women. Half that to take out the kids, it's 5 million. Half that for people that's not interested in what you've got, it's 2.5 million. Half it for people that's too old or too young, then you're sitting at 1.25 million, and you're looking for 10,000. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when you really think about it, it's more just getting your name out there. That's what it's about. It's getting your name out there. But definitely, I think you are absolutely fine. Don't listen to the people that tell you Afrikaans people won't buy. Everybody buys.
The other thing I just want to add to that is, having lived overseas now, just in Australia for almost 20 years, there is a massive amount of South Africans outside of South Africa. And don't listen to social media where they say they've left South Africa. Now South Africa is the worst, or Zimbabwe is the worst place on the planet. Those people yearn for Africa and interaction and African humor and all sorts of stuff, because we're in a lot of those groups. We've got a lot of South African, Zimbabwean, African friends that side of the planet. And how many of them say, geez, I wish we had somebody that could teach our kids Afrikaans. Oh, I wish somebody could teach them singing in Afrikaans or whatever. So the market, Afrikaans market, even outside of Africa, despite what Charlize Theron says, there's more than 44. I've got 44 South African friends just where I live, in my street.
And we live in a tiny little village. Yeah, no, so yeah, go for it.
Nothing stops you from pivoting. After a while, if you see maybe, well, this is not working as well as what I thought, then so what? What have you lost? You've learned a hell of a lot.
I just always bring up Greta Witt. So Stefanie, my one student, Stefanie, introduced me. I had no idea who Greta was until literally, I think, September last year, when Stefanie called me and said, you're not going to believe it, Greta Witt has contacted me and she wants me to come and talk on her stages and whatever. And I'm like, who's Greta Witt? Like, I had no idea. And I mean, obviously, since I've now followed her and to see who she is and whatever, she's got a massive Afrikaans following. And her courses, I've actually gone in because I'm very interested always to see how people are making money. And I've been looking, her courses are like 400 Rand, 500 Rand, like they're not even expensive. And I mean, she's got a huge following, all Afrikaans. All right.
Questions, anybody?
Yes,
Hello.
Now talking about the Afrikaans, like I do teach the reading in Afrikaans and English. But then someone has suggested to just do English because Afrikaans people can also understand the English. But I find it hard because I give both English and Afrikaans reading lessons. So, like, do you mix it? Or
so in your case, I would do, if you feel comfortable in doing both, I would do both. The thing is, what's come up today was there are people who really struggle with English. It's so their second language that they don't speak it on a daily basis. So they struggle with the English, and then to try and create content around that, or to write a course or put a course or a lead magnet or whatever it is together in English is a struggle for them. It's those people that I say, don't worry about the English. Focus on, if Afrikaans is where you feel comfortable, then focus on the Afrikaans. If you're happy with English, I would do both. I mean, I'm Afrikaans and I still do in English. I probably won't create my courses and documents in Afrikaans, but I'm happy to speak in Afrikaans. Might have to throw English words in there, but that's okay. Yeah. No, do what's right for you, do what you feel comfortable with. And if you've got both Afrikaans and English students, by all means, do it both. I know again, I'm going to refer back to her because she's really gone, like, walked the distance. She was one of my very, very first students. And she started off also with Afrikaans. She felt more comfortable with it. And she created, I think, her first videos in Afrikaans, then her first ebook in Afrikaans. She's now translated her ebook into English. She's gone as far as her ebook. She has now gone on to creating physical copies of that. And she's now also translated her Afrikaans videos into English. So, but she started everything. I mean, she's now 3 years down the road, and she's only now in the last few months, she started translating everything into English. But she built a whole business on Afrikaans. Yeah. So it doesn't mean you can't do both. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again, if you've got any questions, let us know. For the new ladies, module 2, for those of you that's following along, if you're going ahead, that's also absolutely fine. But get module 2 going, plan out your course, decide on a name, price, etc. If you want feedback from us, let us know. And I definitely recommend that you use Trello if you are if you don't mind technology so much, because it's really such an easy way. I think I even created a demo on how to use Trello, and you'll just see how easy it is. So yeah, go for that, and then we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. All right, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll speak in the group.